All right, so let's go to question number 2 that I'm going to address. Question number 2 is, how do you transpose and go from one key to another? Okay, so how do we transpose and go from one key to another? Well, number one, not number one, never transpose with the transpose button, as I said before, because if I was the president, guess what? I'd put you in jail for transposing, okay? So in terms of the transpose, let's say we're playing R1, okay? So let's go to the board here, all right? Let's say we're going from our 1, okay? We're playing our 1 for 4 beats. And then let's say I'm going to go to my, 4. Let's say it's major chord, and then it goes to my 1 again. However, I want to get back to the 1 of a new key. All right, now I'm talking numbers. So let's do it like this. Okay, so in this, let's say if this was in key of C, this would be obviously C. Number 4 would be what? What would be number 4 be in the key of C? Tell me exactly. Okay. And number 1 we said is C. So let's say, and I want to now take it to the key of C sharp. Okay, so I want to get to C sharp, and C sharp is the new 1. So there are different ways that you can get there, and I'm going to teach you different types of approaches that you can take and different things that you can do. But one way that you can transpose, the most common, and especially if you're doing it with a singer or singers, they need to get a lead in terms of what to know, what to expect. So let's say they were singing, just for the sake of the example, all right? So the last part. So they would probably need a lead in sometimes. A lot of singers can get it, but then there's a lot of singers that can't get that key. So you have to lead them in. So what's the most common thing is for the last 2 beats, what you can do, what you can do is add a 5. All right, so let's say I change this. We're adding a 5. So what do you mean by the 5? Well, simply that. However, this 5 is now the 5 of the new key. Okay, I'm just going to put new. Okay, so this 5 is now the 5 of the new key. So it has to be the 5 of C sharp. So do you see why number 1 is important? Because the question of what do you do with all these numbers? Well, you have to know the numbers within 1 second, so you can do this in real time. So for example, I know what the 5 is in the key of C sharp, and you should know it. If you don't, complete volumes, volume 2, okay? So let's say I'm at now my 1, all right? So the last part of the song, I go to the 5 of the new key. All right, and then they play. And obviously you know what the 5 of the new key is. All right, so, and then when you have the 5, it just kind of sets it up nicer. Now, obviously, I use the basic chord. Let's say I put a secondary slash chord, which is what we obviously learned in volume 4. Let's say instead of the regular 5, I'm going to make it into a slash chord. All right, and obviously I go into the details on how we get the 4 over 5. I never say this, just do this to the 4 over 5. If you just do that, guarantee you won't get it. When you understand how I got it, you'll be able to create about probably another 20 combinations of this. All right, so it's more important to understand the 20 combinations. How do you got that in terms of the principle, rather than just me showing you a whole bunch of chords, which doesn't really help if you don't understand how to play. All right, so let's say I'm going to put a 4 over 5 instead, which would be what? For those of you obviously that are in volume 4, would this be a primary slash chord, or would this be a secondary slash chord? Okay, I'll let you figure that out. Okay, so let's say at the end, well, actually, why am I doing 1 and 4 when the end of the song, when I have a 1, 4, and 1 here? So let me do what I have written here, which is 1, 4, 1, and then the 5. So I had 1 to the 4 to the 1 to the 5 to the new key. All right, so now I'll put the nicer chord. I'll put nicer chords all over, but you'll hear the 4 or 5 on the last one. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it takes us nicely to the new key. What about this? Let's say we're still in the key of C. Let's say now we're going to the key of D. Okay? we're going to the key of D. Does it work there as well? Yes, it does. However, I need to know what is the 5, or the 4 and the 5, in the key of D. Okay? So this, all right, so let's say I'm in the key of C, right? I'm now going to my 4 and to my 1, now to the 5. Right? Now, if it was a song that you heard, let's say, Oh, and the Saints. Now I'm going to the key of D. Right? So I need the 4 or 5. Do you see that? It works nicely. Let's say, let's keep on going up. Let's go up another semitone. Let's say I went up to E flat. Okay? Does it work? Of course it does. I want to get, so I'm going to use my 4 over 5. All right? That's the most, these are the most common. There are other ones that you can do, but right now we'll start here, okay? So let's say we're in the key of C, right? To our 4, right? To our 1, and now to the 5 of the new key. All right? And do you see how it just works nicely? All right, I hope you get the idea. Just play a 5 of the new key. So once again, that's why you need to understand the numbers. I hope you got that, all right? So let's go to question number 3. Question number 3 is, how do you approach finding the key of a song, identifying the numbers by ear?